All right, guys, welcome to our week two for the model four, right? So, today we're going to be talking about data visualization and how it is a very important part for exploring our data in R, of course. You guys know the saying that a picture can tell 1,000 words. So, that's the power of visualizing our data. And so, let's get straight into it. So the first thing is we have to understand the principle of our data visualization, and we have the univariate visualization, which connected to either having a categorical and a group data, and of course the bivariate case, the multivariate. How do we export with high resolution, and the exercise for this model. So the principle is, why are we even visualizing? Because when we visualize our data, it reveals the distribution shape. It tells us the center. It helps us to tell the variability or how the data spread, and also to quickly identify outliers in our data. Also, we can see possible clustering when there's a nonlinear trend, where there's a form of interaction between the variables. We can easily tell from mere visualizing the data. And of course, because of the choices of seeing the data in a better way, it can help our modeling choices. If there's a need for us to transform our data, if there's a need to select some features, if there's a need for doing some form of stratification where you define different stratum, that is part of why we visualize. And most importantly, it helps us communicate clearly. Take, for instance, you are going for a presentation or you are going for a talk. When you visualize your data, it helps to communicate clearly. People can see. And we know women, we normal human beings, we love visuals. So when we see that, all the labels, the legends, if we clearly define that, it helps us to communicate our data even more clearly. Okay, so I am giving this quick cheat sheet first because it's something that's personally helped me a lot in my choice of what is the right plot to use, what is it best in my what is the best scenario to use this plot. Okay, so take for instance the Instagram. It works when you have a one continuous variable. When we say continuous, that's something we've talked about in our previous classes. So if that's something you have not watched, you should go back and watch those videos so that it helps you understand what we mean by continuous. And when is it best to use Instagram, and when you have a one continuous? When we're trying to check the distribution. I don't know why this cut out. I'm gonna address that. So when we're trying to check the distribution shape or the modality, let's say we want to add a density curve. Density curve is basically to smooth the shape. We have different plots, we have the variable types, and we have the best scenarios we should use them. Okay, so let's get into it so that we don't spend too much time on this cheat sheet. So this is something you should keep so that whenever you need to do your thing, just look at your cheat sheet and you can know the right plot to use for the type of variable that you have. All right, so let's talk about good practice. What are the things that we need to learn how to do when we are trying to visualize our data? We need a proper title when we are titling our data, the title of our visual. So it's very important our choice of labels. The and the reason for that is I've seen some visuals that you will get blood mere looking at them. So and it comes with the right of the choice of a title and how they label their axes, and also some units. There are some units of measurement that you might need to transform them before you visualize your data. Okay, so another thing is consider log axis for right skew. So that's why we say we need to visualize the distribution of our data. Remember in one of our classes where we talk about distributions, assumptions, and when we visualize our data, by now we know what we mean by a right skewed distribution. So when we have those cases, we will need to transform our data by using log. We have different transformation techniques, but we can use log because it's safer to transform a rightly skewed data and to avoid truncated axes, of course. So another thing is you need to learn how to use the consistent scales when you are comparing groups, because when you are comparing groups, you want to make sure that they are all in the same scale so that whatever you are saying about A is the same thing you can say about B, and you can see the differences, and that way you can make comparison. And of course, color choice is very important. We have different palettes in R that we can use, but our choice of color is very important. You don't want to mix red, purple, just sharp colors all together when you are visualizing your data, because any sharp color, it draws attention of maybe viewers or people that you are presenting to, or your audience. So you want to be careful with your color choice and your preference. All right, so